Hi everyone, my name is Rochelle. I am a CND Education Ambassador and Licensed Nail Pro. I am here in my nail studio called the Glitter Lab, coming to you from Dover, New Hampshire. First of all, I was so excited to have a reason to put some lipstick on today, so thank you all for giving me that opportunity to get a little bit dolled up and talk to everyone. I've created a small tutorial for you about some floral flourish nails. And I was inspired by a time in my life where I decided I needed a different hobby besides doing nails. I tried to take up calligraphy. The hand lettering part didn't go so well, but I really fell in love with the flourish details of leaves and flowers that went along with hand lettering. So without further ado, grab your favorite shades of shellac and a detail brush, and that is all you're gonna need. Let's get started.
I think it's really easy to get overwhelmed by designs people bring in, looking at a complex image, and you just think, that's too complicated, I can't do it. But this design really is made up of a few simple blobs and some very fine lines. And if you can do those two things, then you can absolutely nail this look. If you're a beginner nail artist, I suggest doing some practice sheets like I have here and just going over a few leaf strokes. So basically just making a small line and fattening it out where you want to see a leaf. Getting lines down pat takes a combination of a few things. First, it's having a brush that you love. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but something that you know how to work. You're going to need a little bit of a steady hand, and then you just need to master the amount of pressure you're putting on your brush. More pressure for fatter lines, less pressure for thinner lines. Here I am just sketching out where I want my leaves to go. And this is a good thing to get in the habit of doing because sometimes you can really overcrowd your design if you just start going down with the leaves right away. So I just kind of place them with little hash marks and then I fill them out and make a cute little vine. So once we get our leaves down pat, then we just need to practice doing our little flowers. This part's my favorite because you can literally use any brush that you have and just make a series of blobs. If you look at nature, flowers are imperfect. So the more imperfect your flowers are, the more lifelike they're going to look. The last stroke that you need to master is just this small little tick mark short stroke. And we're going to use this to detail our petals and leaves and the inside of our flowers. Every nail artist has their own method and there isn't one better than the other. This is just mine that I'm showing to you. I like to do my leaves first, and I'll put down some leaves and some vines and think of where I want my art to be located. Sometimes I just concentrate it on one side of the nail. Sometimes I'll do it all over. And this particular design, we're going to do an all over design. Anything that I put down first, I will flash cure in between so that if I put another color on top, it doesn't mix and bleed. Depending on the medium you use, you'll have to either eliminate the inhibition layer or start with a matte top coat. I prefer to paint on a matted surface, whether I'm using watercolors, gel paints, or shellac, as I'm doing in this video, because it tends not to bleed or run and it really stays where you put it. And for this highly detailed design, I don't want my leaves to start running on me. So I am doing this over a matted finished nail. We're just going to speed things up a bit so we can move on to the flowers. Now here's where you're going to need to reach deep down into the depths of your talent and make those blobs. We're going to blob some dark pink. This time I am using psychedelic and shellac, and we're going to blob on some white and some light pink, carnation bliss, and we're going to make the prettiest little blobs you ever did see. I did cure all of my base leaves before I'm putting this layer over it. You'll also want to cure your flowers before adding the fine details. I'm just taking the other lighter pink over the dark pink and putting in some petal details, little fine hash marks and some swirls. Then we're going to use really light pressure and put in some more tiny details on the leaves. It's funny how the tiniest little details can make your art come to life. For me, it's always adding the center of the flowers, those little dots. It really brings it out. Once you're happy with your design, you can give it a final cure. I'm just adding in a little filler to the bottom and the sides. I wanted to put another leaf on top and fill in some empty space on the sides with just some simple little buds. If you've only been flash curing your design up until now, you will want to cure your final look all the way in the lamp. 1 minute in our LED and 2 minutes in the UV. Then I just add a little extra pop of special by framing the design with a little bit of radiant chill down the sides. I just think it makes it stand out just a little bit more. Once you've cured your design, use your top coat of choice and finish the look. This next nail I start out by framing the design just to show you a different approach. So I'm putting a thicker stripe of radiant chill down the side, and then I start with my leaves again. I'll let you watch this in regular time for a minute, and then I'll speed it up so you can see the finished look. There you have 2 examples of some super fun floral flourish nails. I hope that you take the opportunity to try this at home. Experiment with color, experiment with whatever you have, if it's gel paint, watercolors, or just shellac. Anything works. Color combos, over nude, pops of colors, metallic accents. I cannot wait to see what you create.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. I hope you were inspired, and I would love to see what you come up with. So please tag me in your photos. My Instagram handle is @glitter4breakfast, which I will make pop up right around here somewhere so you can see it. And also hashtag your nail art with CND Feature Me to get featured in @CND World's Instagram story on Friday. Thank you and stay healthy. Take care.